I'm here with Dan
Fogler.
Who plays Gribble in My Sneeze Moms.
Gribble.
Gribble.
No, I'm kidding.
Gribble. So, how did you get into Gribble's character?
They basically said that my character was abducted from Earth when I was like 10. So I made a decision that he's stuck in the 80s. He hasn't progressed out of that time. And he's very much a man boy. You know, he's like very into video games and he's like a tech savvy guy and builds his own tree house out of garbage underground, and he kind of progressed from there and has been stunted in a lot of ways. His growth has been stunted. He's like just a big man boy. And how did I get into that? I grew up in the 80s. So my middle school years were in the 80s. So I just drew from that, and it's basically the character is basically me with the dial turned up on my manic side, I guess.
What was the best thing about playing Gribble in this movie?
It was really cool to actually play a character that is 6'7", because I am not. he's very tall, and he's like John Goodman size. You know, that was cool. And actually the best part of it was to be part of this legacy that, you know, I grew up watching Aladdin and, you know, Lion King. I loved all these movies growing up, and then to actually have like a Disney, like a character, you know, that looks like me, you know, it's amazing. It's just so surreal. And I'm also like a sci-fi geek, so this was like a perfect combination for me.
Did you ever feel like you didn't need your mom when you were a little kid?
There were times when I was a kid where I had some form of ADD. When they were trying to figure out what is wrong with our generation. And there were times where I was like, are my parents like robots? Why don't they get me? You know, it's like, but I think everyone kind of feels like that as they're growing up. Like, you hit that kind of rambunctious stage where you're trying to find yourself, and you're trying to be something separate from your parents, but still in the family. Those early high school years. Did that answer your question? Oh,
yeah. What was your favorite scene to motion capture?
Well, I think my favorite scene to motion capture was probably the most difficult and the most fun at the same time, which was Gribble's lair. It was like this hanging treehouse Robin Caruso thing, and the floors actually moved, like it was like all tied together with planks tied together. So, and that was on my first day of shooting, so I was getting used to the helmet and the thing, and hey, and now you have to act like you live there. So I was like, oh my god, that was really hard. But the end result was like amazing to me. I was blown away. That was the coolest thing for me.
What is a T-pose?
The T-pose is this pose. Essentially, you stand up and you put your arms out to the side and you stand straight, and that's your beginning position right before action. Everyone gets in the same position inside the grid, inside the camera space, and it's like everyone going to like neutral. Everyone go to neutral, and then they take a shot of you, and then they can animate from there.
What did you learn about kids and their moms through this movie?
Oh, wow. I think it's just a beautiful message that, you know, honor their mother and father, and because they may not be there, you know, forever, and usually that's the case. That at some point you should really respect them and love them in the moment, because this life is fleeting, and I remember I just saw it last night in the big press screening with everybody, and I was like, oh my god, there's a lot of little kids here, and it's gonna be really loud. And but as soon as the thing started, as soon as the movie started, they were just like silent in awe, drooling. I was like, yes, we got him. You know?
So what do you feel about the finished film?
I think it's great. It's beautiful. You know, as much as you're doing it in the moment, and you're only really imagining just the surface of this incredibly elaborate, expansive universe. It was. It's a spectacle to behold. Yeah.
Will there be a sequel?
Well, we'll see. I mean, usually you see how it does. I think there's room for it. Definitely room for it. I'd love to see, you know, maybe they come back to Earth or something, you know. Mars needs dads now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.